All right, so we got another update on Trump's threats from over the weekend. Andrea seems a little bit behind on what exactly happened, so um, it's only a 5-minute video. Let's go.
So, Donald Trump, loser of the 2020 election. He lost. I know some people might not know that, but it's actually 2023. The results have been in for quite a while now. He lost, right? He didn't do so well. Some would even say he got epic owned, but I never said that. Just I've heard that. Many people have said that. But anyway, here we have some NBC News article. McCarthy says Americans should not protest if Trump is indicted. And then we have them.
Yeah, here's the significance of this is that Kevin McCarthy is currently the Speaker of the House. He just went through a very difficult confirmation process to get that speakership role. So there's, some internal disruptors such as Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz. It is suspected, like Republicans themselves have been suspecting that they have some sort of affair going on, Kevin McCarthy and Marjorie Taylor Greene. This might have something to do with why he would break away, because I don't know if she's going to cover all this, but not only did Trump call on his base to protest on Tuesday, I think she missed that part. It's supposed to be on Tuesday when he gets arrested that they're supposed to protest. And there has been an increase in gun sales, stockpiling of weapons. And Marjorie Taylor Greene initially said don't protest, and then broke away and said, let's go scorched earth or something to that effect. So it looks like there might, if they do have some sort of relationship going on, there might be some unhappiness going on there. But Kevin McCarthy is clearly breaking away from Trump messaging, which is only great for all of us. If the GOP is finally realizing how crazy that motherfucker is.
Trying to autoplay the stay tuned now. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to stay tuned, but thank you for that. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy urged calm Sunday and said Americans should not protest if former President Donald Trump is indicted and arrested in a hush money investigation. So on Saturday, Donald Trump was like, breaking news, they're coming for me, protest now. Now, I don't know if people were protesting. I was too busy doing a bunch of drugs on Sunday, so maybe they are, maybe they're not.
As far as I know, I haven't seen anything about protests. But I have seen an article, a video article, if you will, from Christo, who said that they are buying guns. They're buying guns, and the expectation is that they're going to be at the courthouse and put police officers and prosecutors at risk.
If they did protest, I didn't see it in the news, so they must have not protested too well. But either way, so Donald Trump is basically saying, like, I want a civil war now, get out! Right? Like, he's freaking the fuck out. He's kicking and screaming. And everyone else is like, let's not do that now. Let's wait until, like, I don't know, man, what's the better time? If you're a right-wing Looney Tune and you want to fucking, like, go at it with the Civil War, when's the better time than your king being arrested? I don't know. But either way.
Well, I think the thing is that they realize that when he says something, like when most people say protest, they mean show up with some signs, stand on the street curb, and maybe do some chants, right? That's what most people mean by protest. But every time Donald Trump speaks to his base, he's speaking in code. And he's signaling for violence.
Kevin McCarthy has got this to say, quote, I don't think people should protest this, no. And I think President Trump, if you talk to him, he doesn't believe that either. Okay, what? Well, okay. What? Okay, so Donald Trump says, I'm going to be arrested. Protest now! Kevin McCarthy's like, I mean, if you really talk to him, I don't think he really does want to protest now. What? What? He's
That's absolutely the kind of thing that like a boss would say. That you know, they would override your decision. That's exactly how a boss would operate. And Kevin McCarthy at this point has to assert himself as a leader because he's being called a spino, speaker in name only. He has to assert himself as a leader because there are rumors that he has no control because of the way that he became speaker, because of the power Marjorie Taylor Greene has over him, and because Donald Trump, who isn't even a politician at this point, I mean, like he's running for something, but he has no party position at this point, is still trying to control the GOP. So Kevin McCarthy, who is technically the highest level politician within the party, who actually is elected into office and is third in line to the presidency, has to assert himself as a leader. It's still kind of weak. It's still pretty weak. So he's going to have to do more to assert himself as a leader. But I think that it's somewhat encouraging that he's at least saying, nah, I disagree with you on this one.
said it in all caps. If he didn't mean it, he would have italicized it. Like, do we not know how we, like, communicate sarcasm through text? The motherfucker held down the caps button. Donald Trump is so, like, he probably just holds shift, to be honest. Just so, like, it's more, it feels like it's more work,
I think you're giving him way too much credit. I don't think that guy ever learned how to type. I don't think he knows how to extend his pinky out to the shift key. You really think that that's how he's doing it? I think he purposely like looks around the keyboard. If he might be just doing this from his phone on the toilet, right? But he basically just made it the simplest way possible and capitalized everything because he wanted it to be very clear that he was upset and he was screaming.
Got to put more work into it. Therefore, it means more. But anyway, so this guy is telling everyone to protest to save America, whatever the fuck. Kevin McCarthy's like, but if you talk to him, he actually would sincerely say the opposite thing if you were to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, well, probably because he's kind of calling a bluff here that Donald can't challenge that because if he does, then he's doubling down on his call for violence for tomorrow. And Kevin McCarthy is basically like, dude, you didn't really mean to do that, right? You didn't mean to do that. Call your people back in. Let's get ahead of this right now. He is asserting himself as a leader, which is somewhat encouraging. But it'll be interesting if Donald is such an impetulant child that he actually challenges that statement.
What? This fucking shit is so stupid. He said later, nobody should harm one another. We want calmness out there. Yo, these motherfuckers are so afraid of another January 6th, man. I mean, I swear to God. Jesus Christ. So anyway, then they're just pretending like he didn't break the law. Like, oh yeah, he didn't break the law. Reminder, his fucking goddamn lawyer went to jail for this fucking shit. So you're telling me the lawyer who carried out the hush money payment goes to jail, but the guy who gave him the money isn't going to jail? No, come on now, come on. Yo, if Donald Trump isn't going to jail, I mean, obviously, he's probably not going to go to jail because we don't live in a country that holds our fucking kings accountable. They can just fucking walk around and break whatever laws they want and get away with it. Unless, right? I mean, maybe we'll throw him in jail. I don't know. But anyway, I think that this...
Well, they probably won't for this particular... I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they'll give him, like, community service or something like that for this one. I don't know. Because I don't know if they're going to be able to prove that it is an actual felony. That's why it's really silly to go scorched earth on this particular case because this isn't even like the most severe case.
This is pretty funny. I'm totally down to see whatever violence, whatever damage these fucking freaks want to do. Just have fun. Go get arrested. Have fun with that. Go to jail. And then just tell me how you're feeling about the Civil War II when you're in jail for sedition. I'm just curious. I would like to know what that perspective would be. Maybe we can interview that one guy with the eye patch. I'm not sure. But either way, apparently...
Well, especially because this time around, they're ready. You know, the last time around, he was in charge of the DOJ. He refused to call in the National Guard. The Capitol Police got overwhelmed, and he refused to help them out. He refused to send in any backup to get rid of his rabid fan base. So this time, it's the state of New York. They have their own National Guard, by the way, that they can call up, and they probably have. Being real, they probably already have. They've probably already got their National Guard scheduled to be there to make sure that it doesn't turn violent. Because this is New York State. You know? It's not going to be the same scenario. So anybody who goes at this point, I think Kevin McCarthy is actually more concerned probably about the dumbasses who actually listen to Trump, who could get there and be potentially hurt in that situation. And tensions are going to be high, and y'all showing up with a bunch of weapons is not going to go well for you.
According to reports, and when I say reports, I mean Donald Trump himself, apparently he will be arrested tomorrow. So it's possible tomorrow when I'm doing the show, we could get some live footage of Donald Trump being arrested. I doubt it. I don't
doubt it at this point because the New York DA hasn't disputed it. And so the only reason I think it wouldn't happen tomorrow is if they try and change up the day so that these people who are planning on storming the courthouse show up on the wrong day. So it could potentially, in my mind, if I was the strategist behind this, I would indict him either today or Wednesday. Because those folks are have already booked their flights, booked their hotels, carried in their weapons, and or drove cross country, but they are ready to show up on Tuesday. And we're talking some pretty anything from working class to like upper middle class is probably going to participate in this from his base. And so they are going to have a wide-ranging ability to take time off work in order to actually participate in this.
But it's possible, so everyone stay tuned. The soap opera is getting good, everybody. We're finally in the Donald Trump getting held accountable arc. No, they're gonna do some twist, and we're gonna save that for the fucking season 78 of the Trump show. We can't end the show too early. We still got some money to make, so I doubt he's actually going to go to jail. But still, it's fun to think about.
Yeah, well, I mean, not on this particular charge. He might get like a little bit of jail time, but it won't be much. But as some of the other live streamers have already covered, the other cases are going to add to the length of time that he could potentially be in prison. And it's not going to be served consecutively. It will be, it's going to be one after the other. This guy at the end of it could potentially be in jail for the rest of his life because he's not exactly a spring chicken.